So, welcome back to Deep Speak with Brother Sadiq. It's Sunday, and I think we're like our 12th day or 13th day of the chaos. But before that, let me give my greeting: peace, prosperity, love, and light. Um, these are things that I wish for myself, so I also extend them to you because we are in a different time. If you do research and you study and you look around, things are not only changing here in America, they're changing globally. And to the extent of your research, you will even see that they are changing cosmically. Okay. So there are a lot of things going on, but what is most important to me right now is to kind of let you know what I think I see happening, and so that's what I'm here to do today. So today, this video is a warning to I actually think this video is should be a warning. So that's what this is. I'm attempting to warn some of the people who are out here protesting, not saying that it's not something that should be done. Once again, I agree with all of the emotion that is caused by the lack of justice to black people here in this country, of course. But once again, what I want to do is warn. I feel like there is going to come a point shortly, very shortly, um, where the powers that be or some faction or some terroristic mentality or black-hearted person is going to do something to the masses of the people. Now, I ain't talking about the police, and it may be the police. I'm not saying who. I don't have a exact, pinpointed culprit. But there is, for me, a very strong feeling that there will be a biological chemical attack on our citizens. So, for me, it's just a matter of giving the warning. And this, like I said, is based on the Farsight Institute and the video that I watched, and I have promoted and told and shared and said that you guys should also watch. It's called The Human News, Farsight Institute. You can watch this on YouTube, and the news for the month of June is the news that you should watch. That is which I am kind of referring to with the biological chemical warfare that will probably that is somewhat predicted to happen this month. And the reason I give this warning is because last month in the Human News on that same channel from these remote viewers, they predicted what we are seeing currently happening and taking place in the United States and around the world. So with that being said, this is a warning video. Also, before any of that, there was a warning from me about the intent behind all of the videos that we've been seeing for 10 or 15 years of black men being killed on the news, not to mention black women being killed on the news, and the lack of respect for black life in America. So I talked about that and how it was being used as a social engineering tool to motivate the people to riot. And I said, please don't do that. But of course, people are who they are. And so here we are in the middle of the riot season, it seems. Anyway, the reason I said don't do it is because I realized that we could utilize that energy in a better way. Okay. Because what I'm wondering is what will we do at the end of all the rioting when once they pull these cameras out and start arresting people for different things that they will have you on videotape doing, and they will create charges. And not only that, there will be reprisals based on the fact that they've been able to, track your telephone and all of your communications through all of your forms of communicating for years. So there is really a lot of information that they could probably use against individuals, especially in the black community, because how we survive off hustling. We survive off the underbelly of this society. And so most of us have some form of what they would call criminal activity they could use to attach to you and say, hey, well, this is that and this is that. And so your revolutionary situation is either you come and do what we say or sit your ass down, or we'll show you this charge that we can put on you. So that was always part of my concern, not to mention the fact that, martial law is another factor that I threw forward then. This is what I believe it's all about. Get the people riled up, and then there is justification for martial law. Just like Dead Prez mentioned in that song, maybe it's the FBI deep at the core, because if they make us all panic, they can start martial law. So it's a lot of reasoning behind that, and it's a lot of logic, and it's a lot of research that can be done in relation to all of that. So I'm not here to give you the detailed research tools to go and do that, but that is something that you can do by your own spiritual direction and intuition, because that's what it's about. Like I mentioned that before. The time that we are in, you should be listening to your intuitive self and feeding the things that your intuitive self are leading you towards. The different things that may be popping up in your face are things that you should probably be researching and studying and deepening your wisdom about and on. So that's one of the things that I wanted to say. So the warning is that I believe there will be a major assault on the American people, who will probably already be in the street rioting, and which will make the attack much more effective. So that's another reason why I say don't go rioting. But most important is that energy, that anger, that frustration, that fire can be used to do something way more constructive. Because at the end of all of this, with the buildings burned and the ashes, and the smoke, what is your intention? What is your plan? Do you have a mode of operation that will get you from the end of the riots into the new beginning that you intend to have, that which you would hope to see? Like they say, be the change that you hope to see. But what is the plan afterwards, right? What is the plan? We just gonna upright, we just gonna uprise and keep rioting for years and years and years and years and years. There's no logic in doing that. Okay, there is no logic in just, okay, so y'all 2 weeks in almost, okay? In the end, is there a demand must be had? Okay, we want the 4 officers arrested. Okay, that's happened. So what is the ultimate goal of all of this? So I would think it is to transform the society to a place where justice is the rule, right? Fairness is the rule. Equality is the rule. Balance is the rule, right? So I hope that's what all of this is about. But without a plan, it'll definitely die out, and there will be reprisals. So what I have been talking about, and what I was inspired to do with even creating this channel and any of these videos, was from the creator. Okay, I was inspired to do this channel because obviously the times that were to come are what we're living in right now. So I started these videos maybe 2 months ago, a little bit longer maybe, I'm not sure exactly. If you go back and look, you'll see the initial date on the introduction to Brother Sadiq. So that's when I started them. I told you why I started them. I was motivated by family and spirit to put my story out here and try to gather the people who are willing to build forward towards the vision of My Brother's Library Incorporated, which is the 24-hour community center built by the people, for our youth, and supported by everyone in the community, businesses, gang members, educators, mentors, social workers, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Because like I said, we'll have the know-how to do the effective educating to make the changes in our youth and our community, because we've been there and we know what is necessary. What we will need from outside communities possibly is funding and space. So, because we don't have those things. So these are the things that we could probably utilize from outside communities. But initially, this has to happen with Black people. It has to happen with Black people because they're in the worst condition. And they have been in the worst condition for the longest of time. And you can see in every statistic through society the effects it has had on our health, on our finances, on our, like I said, you can choose the statistic, and we're either at the bottom or the top depending on how it's being rated. So we must start with our people, Black people, American Black people, and we need to build contacts and connections with other people who believe like we believe and who are willing to support us across our country. We have to do it. We have to build our own community networks and our own, if you will, underground railroads once again, that we may connect and unify and find our brothers and sisters who are willing to support and move forward and push our agenda forward, because we have to create our agenda. My part in this entirety is education. My part in this entirety is education. And one of the things that I want to share is that, you know, there's a tendency in America that if you have not been qualified by white men or white women or a white institute or some of the socially accepted institutions, then you don't have the right to teach. You don't have the background to teach. You don't have the criteria or the paperwork to teach. I've never really considered that a factor for me. And so the things that I intend to teach are not things that I need to be qualified by white America to teach. I don't need to be qualified by any institution to teach. No religious factions, no theological schools or anything like that. What I am teaching is universal to mankind, and that is spirit, okay? That is what causes you to be alive, what causes me to be alive. There is no battery, no gasoline. There is nothing like that that causes you to be alive, okay? So the life that is causing you to be alive is a spirit of energy that is in your being, okay? And that is what I have studied for my entirety of my life. That is what I have studied through the entirety of my life, okay? And though I have studied it through the guise of religion, and a lot of my studies have been through the religious perspective of spirit, it has definitely given me an extremely clear perspective on how religion has been used to manipulate and divide and to control the masses of the people exclusively and directly my people, Black people in America. So what I mentioned about religion and my travels through the religions is that what I understood is that I did not need a religion, and that the source was with me before I started my search for religion, and that the source was the motivation for my search for the religion. And when I prayed before I was a Christian, when I was a Christian, when I was a Muslim, when I was no longer a Muslim, when I was a Baha'i, and whatever time that I prayed, I received the necessary information and confirmations and reactions from the universe that told me that I was in alignment. So I did not need any religion. And that's what I say when I say that. So what I say is that you can purify yourself based on the simplicity of treating the other man as you would like to be treated, with the respect and the honor and the dignity and the values that you apply to yourself and that you would hope applied to you, you apply to others. Okay, and if you can do that, if you can balance yourself in that simplest way, then you can begin to trust your intuitive spirit. Okay, and your intuitive spirit is directly related to your ancestral lineage as well as the creator who brought you forth. So this is what I am about. Okay, I am about bringing that forth in our youth, bringing that consciousness forth in our youth. And through this program, My Brother's Library Incorporated, in the different educational programs and formats with which we will share and teach and evolve our children forward, it will explain and show and share and not indoctrinate them to any religion, but let them understand the historical perspective of all of them. And then they will be able to see clearly the values and the manipulations and the different perspectives that were held and how they came to be. So the value of teaching the religions is not so that we can make more Christians and Jews and Hindus, etc., but that they may understand the spirit in all of them, recognizing the value of our own spiritual lives. And what do they say? You keep the meat and and toss the bones. So that is what would happen in that process. So it's not to knock anyone's religion down. It is to give a clear history so that there is a true path forward in our future, and that we may have a solid foundation for what we build forward with our youth. Okay, so the youth are the future, the children are the future, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. What will we teach them? We will teach them the base. We will teach them the operating systems of their body from elementary through 12th grade. We will teach them the environment that they grow up in, whatever state they're in, the plants, the animals, the vegetation, etc. We will teach them we will seek out their natural aptitudes and gifts, and then we will magnify them by putting them with elders who are already skilled in those fields and help to, like I said, create masters at an early age. So the program is out there. The program has been noted on it's already here. It's already on the internet, and so it cannot be removed anymore unless something happens in the future that I'm not prepared for. But either way, the program is out. What I intend to do, because I see that the people are out, right? The people are out. You guys are in the streets by the millions, and so I'm not going to like my thing was, let's wait until the COVID was over. However, but it seems like the people are not concerned with the COVID anymore. So my intention now is to within this next week or two be able to connect with some of the people in Michigan and in Indiana, and be able to gather the people who are in support of these ideas and those of like minds and kindred spirits, and have a meeting or two. Have some sit downs where we can kind of meet and greet and get to know each other and talk about the ideas and the programming and teamwork, unifying to be able to start to build forward on the idea of the community supporting these things and the community coming together to support our youth. So all of that is where I'm headed in the next couple of weeks. Okay, so all of you who have kind of given a thumbs up, then you can kind of expect a call, whether it be through Messenger or a direct line. So what I'm hoping is that we can find a place and a time in each of these cities to be able to gather the groups, have a sit down, like I said, do a meet and greet, share the programming, and find out who has the time to begin to start to build our units, okay, build our teams, city to city. So that's where I am with the programming for My Brother's Library Incorporated, and I wanted to kind of give an update on that. Also, there's a couple other things that I think I need to share. I've like I said, I'm kind of new to this whole social media thing, so I lately became I'm on Twitter. Okay, so I'm now on Twitter. So what I've been doing is posting my videos on my regular YouTube thing, and then put them on Facebook, and then I put them on Twitter. So if possible, please share these videos forward, and I am available for contact through Servant SERVANT_OF, the number 1 at ymail.com. So contact me that way. And once we contact through the email, then we can exchange numbers and we can do some more intimate talking and building and get forward with some of these ideas. Because what's going on is that what I said, the creator and the universe and the ancestors are calling for those people who will be building, who will be working, who will be motivated to do something that is good, something that is positive, something that is of the light and of what is right and of what is for our future, as well as what you see in the society with those who are not of the light, doing damage, violence, and it's going to only get worse. And so just a warning, always defend yourself. Always be willing to defend yourself, because no matter what the laws are, your life is more important than any law. And if you don't survive whatever is, the assault is, then the legality of you going to court is irrelevant. So protect yourself at all costs. But what I'm going to tell you is that we cannot win in a war against these devils. Okay, we cannot win in a war in the sense of we're going to shoot it out. That won't be the way we will win this. Okay, so buy your arms, protect yourselves, get your guns, and all of those things. But what I'm telling you is, don't look that our win and victory will be from physical ass whoopings. We will probably get some of those in, but what I'm saying is it won't be us taking it to them like that. That ain't how it's coming down. That ain't how this is going to play out. Okay, because the spirit of righteousness is in the people's hearts anyway. So all you got to do is put forward what is right. It's like they said, you give a people a muddy glass of water and they thirsty, they're gonna drink it because that's all they got. But if you offer them a clear glass and a muddy glass, then it's a pretty clear choice what they'll choose. So that's what it is. You just offer them the truth, what is right. And the fact of the matter is, none of us were able to reach our full potential as beings, as human beings brought to this earth. Okay, especially Black people here in America. We were limited in every way we could possibly be limited in reaching our potential. So what this program and the intent is to be able to bring all of our powers and forces and directives and energies and funds and minds and everything that we have into alignment so that we can help our children reach their full potential. And once again, once I said what I said is the child and the next generation reaching their full potential, they bring about things in the world that we have not seen. They won't be just, oh, my son's a doctor, my son's a lawyer. Your son will be something that the world has not yet seen. Okay, that's what I'm saying. That's what this program is about. It's about allowing our children to reach their full potential and us having a place to center our focus, to be able to work as a team and build out our dreams and our intentions from a central place. Unifying ideas, power, finances, and all of the things that we have in a community place, because that's necessary. If we don't have some way to organize and unify, then we really don't have a chance of building forward any of our dreams, and they will probably be destroyed individually, separately, because we are working as individuals versus working as a team. We already know that it takes a village. We already know that the programs we've seen in our history have been destroyed because they were not supported by enough of our people. So we know what we need to do. We need to do it soon, because those who are against your rise, those who are against your full growth, are in full fury, pulling out all the stops on blitz mode, if you would. If you're playing football, they blitzing right now. So either we come together and unify, click up, team up, or we can get our ass kicked individually and watch them spray some crazy ass chemical over the crowd of protesters and watch things get worse. So that's my warning. That's my that's my heads up. And I hope we are listening and looking for something because it's coming. And listen and look with your spiritual ear. Be conscious of your spiritual self. Recognize that we are in a spiritual war as much as a physical war. And be conscious of all that is going on around you, because the necessity to be aware is vital now. Okay? It's hard to trust the news. It's hard to trust your pastor. It's hard to trust anyone other than this intuitive spirit that will say, oh yeah, he on point. Oh no, he ain't right. That's where we are. So purify yourself, trust your spirit, look for a source through ancestry, through the universe, through whatever you may connect through, but you must connect to source. Without source, you will be deceived. You will be misguided. You will be led astray. So that's the word for today. I will give peace, blessings, love, and light to my people. That's what I wish for myself. That's what I wish for you all. I hope that we all are supported by all of the good in the universe, and that we may unite and support one another in our visions, in our works, because what is forward is for us to build. Okay? The chaos is because there is no one in control at this time. And those who are usually in control recognize they are not in control. Also, those who are used to being controlled are somewhat afraid that there is no controllers. But what that is saying is you are in control. It is your turn to choose what is our future. It is your turn to rule what will be next. So, be a king when kingdom comes. Purify yourself. Get your heart right. Get your spirit right. Get your mind right. Be ready to live and die for what you know is best, for what you know is right. Okay? So, I love you. And once again, greetings, peace, blessings, love, and light. This is your brother, Siddiqullah. One love.